أعمالنا من يهده له فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, thank you so much for having me today. It's my pleasure and honor to speak before all of you. The good in what I say is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I thank and praise Him for it, to whom to He is due all praise. Any mistakes are my own, and I seek His refuge and forgiveness for them, astaghfirullah. Today I stand before you to discuss a topic of incredible importance for us that is magnified on these few precious days in particular, and on this Friday, Jummah in particular. Brothers and sisters, we are in the few blessed days of the year of Dhul-Hijjah. This blessed time of which we are told there are only 10 days, 10 golden opportunities for us for blessings. And brothers and sisters, the central theme of what I have to talk about here today, and the central theme of these days, is sacrifice. That is the paradox. In order to receive, we must give. And the only way in which we can give is by accepting that we receive all grace, all benefit, all blessing, all that is good from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To open our hearts up to that vulnerability, that crucial recognition of our shahada. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. All the sacrifice in our lineage, in our proud, beautiful tradition, is due to that submission. It is not saying that I give because I am strong, because I am capable, because I have abundance. It is to say, I give everything back to you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you have given me first. Brothers and sisters, we are never more unified as a blessed ummah than during this time. Our beloved Quran tells us, and we have created you a people of the middle pathway. Brothers and sisters, when the entire world's attention gathers not just in one community, not just in one area, but on one central place, the Kaaba, in that blessed city of Mecca, during these times, in which we are gathered here, not every day of our lives, not even every year of our lives, but once in our lives, in which there is a focal, unifying moment, we are never more of a community. We are never more gathered together, and I would say we are never stronger in our deen, in our conviction, and in our gathering. We are told that as people of the middle path, as people who are gathered together in that central, one unified location, we become that ummah. We become that community, that transcendent element, which brings Islam's powerful message of racial equality, of powerful message of economic equality, that the rich is no better than the poor, that the person of dark skin is no better than the person of light skin, or vice versa. And brothers and sisters, we have that critical message to share. Brothers and sisters, we reflect these few precious days on the story of the beloved Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. And we witness there his unparalleled devotion and dedication and sacrifice. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested him more than any of us will ever be tested. He said, sacrifice your son whom you love. Few of us can recognize the power of those words, of that request, and yet even fewer of us can recognize the strength of Ibrahim alayhi salam's immediate yes. Brothers and sisters, his willingness to sacrifice that which he loved the most in this world, that which he said, I am more joined to, I am more bonded, this is closer to my heart than anything else on creation, showed that he saw past the fleeting things of this world. He saw past this immediate community. He saw past that which directly was in front of his face, and he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is greater. Brothers and sisters, we are constantly reminded in the Quran and Hadith of the centrality of giving, of sacrificing, that which is close and precious to us. But sacrifice during this time also means so much more. We're not just giving up our money. We're not just giving up our time for salah. We're not just giving up our energy for siyam. We're not just giving up our sleep when we are doing qiyam during these times and during Ramadan, when we are trying to squeeze out these blessings of these days. But we are constantly reevaluating what sacrifice means. In this world, in our society today, we are told that the way to success is growth. Get more money, more prestige, more relationships, get that better promotion at work, that nicer car, the fancier watch, get the bigger house, get more people saying that you are better and better and better. We are reminded of the ayat in the beloved Quran, and they build up more and more until they go down to their graves. We are told every day that we must consume. We are told every day that we must build. And yet, during these few days in which we are told sacrifice is higher, we are told to flip that around. We are told that we have to invert that story, that we can only build when we give, that we can only gain when we sacrifice, that it is not about spending more time waking up first thing in the morning. I'm going to wake up an hour early to put more hours into work. It's how can I wake up an hour early to memorize more Quran? How can I stay an hour later at work to do more toward a promotion versus how can I volunteer for an hour after work being the face of my community? Brothers and sisters, Islam can be a powerful thing for us to share, but only if we don't keep it bottled up inside the four walls of our masajid. Brothers and sisters, we have to give our time to service. We have to give our money to causes. We have to give our talents to those who need it most. If you're a software engineer, you can help Muslim nonprofits do their work. You can help the masjid with its website. If you're a dentist and you go out and do public service in the community for those who are homeless, wearing a kufi, that is the most powerful da'wah imaginable to me. And that is the kind of work that changes hearts and minds. Brothers and sisters, it is about prioritization. And during this month, we are told that it is not about how much we can accrue, how much we can gather. It is about how do we spend our time, our energy, doing the once in a year push to go out to Mecca. How do we spend our time and our energy doing the once in a lifetime push to Mecca? The once in a year sacrifice of our food and bellies in our mouths and water on our tongues during Ramadan? How do we spend that daily time doing our salawat? Brothers and sisters, it is critical that we reorient, that we are continually asking ourselves, not just how can I build, but how can I give productively? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never take more from us than we are able to give. And subhanAllah, we in the process get that which is infinitely better. The pleasure of our Rabb subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us there are no days in which righteous deeds are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than these 10 days, meaning of Dhul Hijjah. And during these few days, I want each of us to ask ourselves, what is my sacrifice? What am I giving that is going to earn me the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? That I can come before Him and say, Ya Rabb, I gave out of that which was precious to me. Because we remember there is a difference between a gift and a sacrifice. We can give a gift, that is easy. I can give a small present to someone, I don't care much about it. I can give a few dollars here. I can give a little bit of my time to a neighbor. I can walk their dog or something like that, something easy, trivial. But what I can really do is give a sacrifice. My sacrifice is that which hurts a little bit. That which we hesitate about. We say, do I really want to do this? How much do I care? Is this really worth it to me? When you start having to ask yourselves those questions, that is when you say, I have transcended beyond just a gift, and now I am in sacrifice mode. And that is where I want each of us, as we are emulating the sunnah of our beloved Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, to think, what is most precious to me? If it is your money, give your money. If it is your time, give your time. If it is your talent, give your talent. There are opportunities to serve on boards at our beloved masajid across the state, including this one. There are opportunities to volunteer at our masajid or our Islamic institutions across the state, such as this one. There are opportunities to give to multiple causes. Each one of us has the ability to identify, to look really closely within our hearts and to say, what do I most love? Because when you look at what you most love, that is what has the most potential opportunity to get between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is precisely that which can stand between you. And when you say, yes, I'm thinking about doing my salawat and increasing that, but there's this other thing that I want more. Yes, I'm thinking about trying to memorize more Quran and memorize more juz this year, but there's something else that I love more. Maybe it's earning that promotion. Maybe it's getting this extra degree. Maybe it's spending more time here or there. But what these days remind us and why they are so precious, they're not precious because they are 10 days out of the year. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could make them throughout the year if He wanted to. They are precious because they are a condensed, tight, narrow opportunity for us to reevaluate and to say, what is most precious in my life? What is my sacrifice? And how can I use that to draw closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, rather than that be the reason that I draw away? These are the opportunities for blessings, brothers and sisters, that I pray that none of us may forget and that none of us may let the blessings of these days pass us by during. These are the days in which we are told that we have to make that hard journey. Hajj is not just in our backyard. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have told us you can perform the Hajj rites anywhere you want, anywhere in the world. He told us you have to make that hard journey. Until the last few decades of humanity, that was either on boats or trains or by foot or by camel or by horse or by any other mediums. These were hard tasks to come. And yet we are commanded every year, if you can go to Hajj, this is your requirement. Once in your lifetime, you must make this effort. It's not meant to be easy. It's meant to be hard, but therein lies the blessing. Therefore, inshallah, brothers and sisters, let us make the most of this time. Let us squeeze every ounce of blessing out of this. Because when we come out on the other side, will we regret having done too much or having done too little? I, in my life, have never regretted spending more time during Ramadan and Dhul Hijjah reciting Quran. I have never regretted fasting more days. I have never regretted performing more salawat or giving more in charity. I've never regretted more kind words on my tongue toward my spouse, toward my children, toward my neighbors. I have never regretted reading more about the sunnah of our beloved Prophet ﷺ and emulating that further, making more commitments for that, and living that more fully during these 10 days, more richly, with less division within my spirit than during this time. Because I know that just as the siyam of Ramadan, just as the food in our bellies during suhoor has to carry us to iftar, so the blessings of these opportunities of Ramadan and Dhul Hijjah have to carry us throughout the year. They have to fill our souls up and make sure that we have the spirit to last throughout the rest of the year. Brothers and sisters, I pray that we may renew our commitment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during this time, that we may grow stronger during this time, and there may never be a moment in which it passes us by. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa tasliman kathiran. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, thank you so much again. I'm so grateful to be in front of you today. I'm here with an organization, Penny Appeal USA. We work in the Muslim world, relieving those who are most in crisis in some of the hardest to reach places in the world. Afghanistan, inside rural Pakistan, inside Somalia, inside Syria, inside Palestine, inside South Africa, where there are more Muslims than there are in the entire United States, and which has the highest income inequality in the world. Brothers and sisters, my message today is simple. You have an opportunity during this month to give and to receive an incredible turn. I want to tell a quick story. Your dua is more powerful than you know. Our dua, all of us as an ummah, is more powerful than we know. I was in South Africa a few months ago visiting some of our orphan programs there, visiting those who have truly nothing, who are families of 5 living in a room that could not hold 3 of us, all together with just one bed between them, with one large blanket, tin walls to protect them from the elephants, no windows, a blanket on the door, on a simple wire to hold it, no other possessions other than a few pots and pans for food and water. They told us if it were not for the support of those who care so much, those who are giving, we do not know where our next meal would come from. We do not know where our children would be educated. We do not know what our families would do for health care when they get sick, because these things are not a given for us. And they told us, brothers and sisters, we are making dua for Muslims in America. We are making dua for you as Muslims who care. We are making dua for Muslims who care beyond just looking right in front of them, who have never met us, have never seen us, and whose names they will never know, but whose dua is on their lips. Brothers and sisters, we work around the world in these countries to make sure that we have opportunities to give, opportunities to make sure that those who are without food can receive it through our programming in terms of Feed Our World. That those who are without water have the opportunity to have their needs met with clean, fresh drinking water. In countries like Afghanistan, in countries like Pakistan, where we dig wells on a daily basis to ensure that people do not have to get infectious diseases, that young girls do not have to walk to and from school. Brothers and sisters, speaking of dua, I was told recently about one of our field officers of a young girl in Pakistan, Fatima, 11 years old. She's one of 4 children of her mother, her father passed away 3 years ago during COVID. During this time, brothers and sisters, the family has been without so much, and yet they have been making dua since the flooding swept away their home last year in the Balochistan province during the massive floods that hit. They have been making dua for sufficient food, for sufficient shelter, for sufficient clothing. Brothers and sisters, we work to meet those needs because we are reliant on the sacrifices of those who are here. And each one of you can be the answer to their dua. There is never a more critical time for this kind of critical, treasured work. And so when we work with young girls like Sister Fatima, for example, we have the opportunity to give Qurbani during this month in countries like Pakistan. We have the opportunity to provide meat for communities who otherwise would never receive it throughout the entire year. It is their one opportunity for this critical nutrition, which is so necessary for the growth of the mind and the growth of the body, especially for children. And I hope each of you will stop at our table afterward and fulfill your Qurbani commitment if you have not already. But I also hope that you will think about this as a long-term engagement and ask yourselves, can I do more than just one time? Can I say, I'm not going to be the person who gives a person a fish, I'm going to be the one who teaches someone to fish. Because all of our work at Penny Appeal USA is oriented around sustainability. That means that yes, we give Qurbani sacrifice during that one period of time. But, and I would encourage each of you to think, I am not going to be limited by that. When you give a live pregnant goat, for example, to Fatima's family, that provides food throughout the year. It provides milk throughout the year, dairy products and cheese throughout the year. Those offspring of that goat can themselves also build up the economy. We've been doing this for a few years now, and this year we are purchasing goats from communities that we gave live pregnant goats to 5 years ago. We are buying them directly. We're saying we're no longer giving you zakat and giving you a hand up or a handout. We're giving you a hand up. We're giving you the ability to raise yourselves out of poverty, to raise yourselves out of that dire need, to be able to provide medicine for your family, books for your children, educational opportunities for young girls and young boys who are around you. If there are orphans within your community, we provide them with school and knowledge and educational opportunity in a way that no one else will. We are told by our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Man nafas al-mu'min karbatin min karb ad-dunya, nafas Allahu anhu karbatin min karb yawm al-qiyamah." Whosoever relieves a distress from a Muslim in this life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will relieve his distress on the day of judgment. Brothers and sisters, we are told that these are the days of the most blessed, and these are the most 10 blessed days of the year. Do not let that opportunity pass you by. Because I started talking about this with dua. At the end of our lives, at the end of the race we are all going to, we will all be brought in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for judgment. And those of us who are blessed to feel that beloved taste of Jannah, those of us who are blessed to feel that joy, that overwhelming blessing and barakah, we will not ask, how's my house? We will not ask, who's taking care of my car? But yet we will be told, you are here because of the words of the child you helped. Their dua is what lifted you up here. Not your deeds, not even those things you did wrong, but those words of those whom you helped so much are what's going to elevate you. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hears their cries. He hears the dua of the orphan, of the oppressed, of the needy person, those with no food in their bellies whom you feed, those with no water in their mouths whom you satiate. That is the critical work here that we do at Penny Appeal around the Muslim world, working in places no other organization can or will, in the hardest to reach spots, working in communities that everyone else in the world has turned their back on, but that each one of you have the opportunity to embrace. And to say, during this Qurbani, during these Dhul Hijjah days, I will give. I will make that difference. So I encourage each one of you to do so, inshallah. And please join me in dua for each of you and for the community. Ya Allah, please bless the brothers and sisters in this room with more and more ability to sacrifice during these days. Ya Allah, fill up our lives and our days with blessing during these beautiful 10 blessed days. Ya Allah, bless those who are going on Hajj. Fulfill their Hajj. Make it a Hajj Mabrur. Make it a time of barakah for all of them and their families who have sacrificed so much to fulfill your requirements and to live out their deen. Ya Allah, bless and protect our children. They are our legacy in this world. There is nothing that we can do more important than raise them up and elevate them and make sure that they are brought up correctly despite so many challenges in our world today. Ya Allah, grant us the strength to be good parents, good guardians, good children, good brothers and sisters, good employees, good employers, to be just in all of our transactions. Ya Allah, build up our institutions, our masajid, our Muslim institutions. Ya Allah, build up all of our character throughout this year. Ya Allah, allow us to take the blessings of Dhul Hijjah, the lessons of Dhul Hijjah, carry them with us through another 350 days and bring us to the next one. Ya Allah, allow us to see another Dhul Hijjah. Accept our sacrifices during this month, our siyam, our time, our financial. Ya Allah, make us among the blessed and count us among those who rise to the ranks of Jannah, Ya Allah, and elevate us there, along with our parents, our children, and our fellow community members. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Straighten the lines, fill in the gaps. If everyone's able to make sure that you're shoulder to shoulder with your brothers and sisters up front, that we have enough room. There's a lot of traffic coming in the back apparently. We want to make sure that we have plenty of space for everyone. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the khutbah. May Allah accept from Dr.John, Robbins. They have a table outside. It's from representing the Penny Appeal organization, and he already mentioned some of the projects during the khutbah. We request all of you to approach the table and support the cause. Please remove the double park card from IIT main parking lot right now. There's an announcement for the Eid prayer. Inshallah, we will have a Eid al-Adha prayer on Wednesday, June 28th. Takbirat will be 7:30, and the first prayer and khutbah will be 8 o'clock by Sheikh Uthman Raqqa and Imam Anas Daghamin, which is from Lomita Masjid. And the second prayer will be at 9 a.m. by Muhammad Atiyah. And direction for the place is at Charles H. Wilson Park, 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard, Torrance, 90501. More information available on our website and on those WhatsApp group. Jazakallah. the prayer. Sister's request for the dua. She's having surgery for doing her pregnancy, and she requested